Mason here. It's time to continue our search for the next Syracuse basketball head coach. With today's candidate, here's Brian.
Today's candidate. I don't know if he's hip to the series or what. Today's candidate, without any way he could have known he's today's candidate. Unless he's, broke into the house and, looked at my files and my notebook in front of me and whatnot. That's the only way he could have known. This is not, this information's not out there. This information's not out there. Today's candidate yesterday on the gram followed me. So I think that already, why? I don't know why. I mean, it's compelling content at all. I just don't know why the person we talk about today would have wanted to do that. It's beside the point he follows more than 3,000 people. He follows Fran Brown on Instagram. Where is it? Where's the list? I got the list here somewhere. Hang on. I need a different screen on my phone. Who else is he following? It disappeared. It disappeared. Gotta bring him back. Who else is he following? He's following Atan Thomas. He's following the Cuse men's basketball account. He's following Fran Brown. He's following Kyan Anthony, JJ Starling, rest in peace, Lawrence Moten. He's following Billy Owens. This guy is on Instagram. He's also the associate head coach for a team that is going to be in one seed and potentially, depending how it falls out shortly, the number one overall seed in the upcoming NCAA tournament. Today's Who's Next is Duke's associate head coach and my newest Instagram follower, one Chris Carrawell, who, quite ironically, in the year 2000, in the regional semifinals, his collegiate basketball career came to an end at the hands of Mike Miller and Billy Donovan and Florida, and he wept, and then he left. But, he follows me on the gram now, so now I'm all about Chris Carrawell. Seems like just a fantastic bloke, and we should probably give him a chance. So today's Who's Next is Duke Associate Head Coach, one Chris Carrawell. Now, Duke's a team. They got coaches on coaches. Their bench has rows. They got a lot of guys. So here's Chris Carrawell's career. So after Duke, and Chris was a very good, not quite great college player. He was a major recruit. He was a very good, not quite great college player. Never sniffed the NBA. Played overseas, played in a lot of places, was a member of the Rochester Razor Sharks back, was that the CBA at the time? I mean, ABL? Who knows what they were calling it back in 06. Got into coaching at Springfield Armor. Springfield, what even is Springfield Armor? I guess that was an old G League team, a D League team at the time. His first collegiate coaching job, he spent 4 years at Marquette, working for another Dookie at the time in Steve Wojciechowski. Then he moved from there in 2018 to Duke and joined Coach K's staff. And then when John Shire moved up to the big chair, Chris Carrawell slid down the bench to Shire's chair and became the associate head coach of Duke. So this is a guy that, again, we talked UConn on Monday. We're talking Duke today. I understand this is unseemly and plug your nose in the whole thing. But, okay, it is, it is a staff, obviously, that has unbelievable success over the years. Over the years. So, Chris Carrawell has, learned all this stuff at Duke. Now, much like I said on Monday when we talked about Kamani Young and we talked about Luke Murray at UConn, I do not think Syracuse will go this route, specifically because Red was this route. Red was the associate head coach at Syracuse and got the job without ever having been head coach before. I don't think Syracuse is in position to hire a guy that hasn't been head coach before. That said, to your point, Christian Burns, right? Nolan Smith came up through that, and he's in the tournament with Tennessee State. Jay Lucas, former Duke assistant, and wasn't even the associate head coach, I don't believe, last year, unless he was one of two. They got a lot of titles on that Duke staff. He was a hot candidate last year, got scooped up by Miami to replace the retiring Jim Larrañaga, and got the first year. First year as an ACC head coach. Miami hasn't played yet in the ACC tournament, day 3 today, because Jay Lucas got Miami to the 3 seed, and they don't play till tonight. So, former Duke assistant coaches without previous head coaching experience have gone into it and have had immediate success. So, I don't know if Syracuse can go that route because of what happened with Red, but like, if you're going to, I think you should at least give a look at the UConn guys. National champions 2 times over, both of them. At Carrawell from Duke. Florida. Who's Florida? Florida's got a guy. Florida basketball coaching staff. Florida's got a guy. His name has gone in and out of my head. Todd Golden's their, young guy, excitable head coach. Florida's got 2 associate head coaches, Corey McRae and Carlin Hartman. Double the associate head coach situation. Like, look at these staffs. Florida's got associate head coach, assistant coach, player development, and another assistant coach. So, like, then they got strength and conditioning. They got the trainer. They got a director of basketball strategy of analytics. They got a director of operations. They got a video coordinator. I'm sure their NIL person and GM is somewhere. But, like, that's a deep staff. So, yeah, I mean, look at the recently successful programs that have succeeded in this area. Florida won the title last year and is positioned to make a run again. UConn's won 2 of the last 3 and is positioned to make a run again. Duke is up there and good every year. If you are going to hire an assistant coach that has not been a head coach before, it might as well be one from those programs that have won at a high level very specifically in this era. Because, as we all know, winning in this era is very, very different than winning in previous eras, even though Florida, Duke, UConn, it's like familiar suspects, right? But they're doing it in different ways now. Florida won those 2 titles with Billy Donovan when it was Joakim Noah and Al Horford and Torian Green, who's actually an assistant on this staff here with Florida, and Corey Brewer. Like, they won it all. They won it all as juniors, and those guys came back and won it as seniors. Like, that stuff doesn't happen anymore. Now it's NIL, it's portal, it's analytics, it's the whole thing. Like, Florida's got a guy on the staff who's literally the director of basketball strategy in analytics. Literally. That's his title. Syracuse, like, sort of had somebody like that left, like, early in the season. You need somebody. You need these things. Now you might say, "Oh, well, can't the coaches do that?" Sure, they can, but it's also optics, right? It's knowing these things. It's in the era, right, of the challenge system, of having somebody like that that's locked in and telling you when to challenge, so you're not wasting timeouts. It's all of these things. It's all of these things. Yeah, Bobby Hurley's available. He could ask Danny. There we go. A lot of people immediately, Dookie V immediately jumped on Bobby Hurley to Syracuse. Like, Hurley did not have a great tenure at Arizona State. He was fine. They had the 1 year that they did they get to number 1 in the country? They had the 1 year they were really, really, really good by the middle of the season, and then never quite that again. Like, he was good at Buffalo, but Nate Oates did better at Buffalo right on the heels of him. I don't know. Bobby Hurley, I'm not feeling it. Maybe we'll stuff him into a Who's Next for next week just because, the Who's Next train keeps rolling until we have an answer to the question. But I'm not really feeling a Bobby Hurley situation. Andy's a Hurley, and I think Danny's more insane, but Bobby's not uninsane. Like, do we want the worst? Like, do we want a worse Hurley coach who's also nuts? Like, if you're gonna get Hurley insanity, I want Natty's. Like, I want natties. Like, if you're going to get Hurley insanity, get me the guy that's winning national championships, not the guy that just got fired and made 3 tournaments in 11 years. Go get Jeff Capel, former Dookie. Go figure. Here, full circle. Who's next? You know, Chris Carrawell replaced on Duke's staff. Jeff Capel. Jeff Capel had that job. Got hired as the Pitt head coach, and that's when Coach K reached out and hired Chris Carrawell from Marquette. It all ties together. It all ties together. Yeah, Micah Shrewsbury. I'm sure Notre Dame would be like, yeah, buy out now, whatever. Just, here you go. Just, yeah, take that guy. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, just go ahead, take that guy. So this week, our theme on Who's Next is big-time major assistants. All these guys I've talked about, I think, are extremely capable of becoming top-level college head coaches. Luke Murray, people love him at UConn. He's got great schemes. Kamani Young, great recruiter, another guy at UConn that seems to really fit well. Chris Carrawell, everyone seems to like him at Duke. All of these coaches in Florida, they're spoken highly of. Obviously, you know, after UConn, they got the best run operation going in the country right now, it seems, with the quick rise of Golden in the last couple of years in the national championship last year. I just don't think, as we wrap up Who's Next today, that Syracuse is in position, based on red, to make that move right now, unless one of these guys, and I'm not saying don't interview him, kick the tires, talk to Luke Murray, talk to Kamani Young, talk to Chris Carrawell. I mean, Carrawell's following you on the gram, slip into his DMs. He might already be in the Syracuse DMs. I don't know. Talk to these guys. These guys in an interview setting better blow you away beyond a shadow of a doubt, beyond Brian Hodgson, beyond Jerry McNamara, beyond whoever you talk to. If they absolutely blow your socks off, then sure. But if it's anything close to a tie, if it's anything close right now, I think Syracuse has to go with somebody that has legitimate head coaching experience, because we just saw what happens when you learn on the job. If you interview Luke Murray and he knocks it so far out of the park that every doubt is removed, go for it. If you interview Chris Carrawell and he is the most impressive guy you've ever talked to, all right, go for it. But they better clearly be the guy. This is not a tie. This is a tie goes to the head coach situation, not a tie goes to the assistant. There we go. There we go. That's what I'm saying, JM. Like, this time around, let's blow some socks off. Get some socks blown off this year. Who's next? Well, Who's Next again, coming up on a Monday in our next live in the 315. So there we are. Little Who's Next today. My newest Instagram follower, I followed back. Like, it just felt, I felt I should. Chris Carrawell. I'm following a Dookie now. I don't feel great about it, but maybe he's the nicest guy, and maybe he's willing to throw out all of his Duke blue and start wearing orange all the time. I don't know. These are things that we will have to find out.